the beginning of the story, we see a loser boy named Haruto, and he is currently going to sift in a new city with his parents. And at that moment, his childhood crush named Miharu, who comes to visit him, saying not to leave him from here. Ryo reply one day he will come back to marry her when he becomes a fully grown man. Now the end of the flashback, Ryo is returning from his university. Well, in the bus, a small girl is steering at him, and then Ryo decided to see at her then train or train-kun does it works. Now Haruto is going to be Isekai, but still he is thinking about those moments with his crush. Now after a moment, a smelly boy opened his eyes, and this is our main character named Ryo. Then he realized that some of the visual coming to his mind, but he doesn't know who that person is. He even feel pain with those memories. At that moment, he forgot his real name and started thinking and saying that who is Haruto? And why he is in my mind, and whose are those peoples? Wait a minute, I was in bus, but what does the bus mean? I don't know. My mind is confused. After this, more memories came to Haruto's mind, which made him more confused, thinking he is not okay right now. After a moment, many peoples came near to Ryo and started eating their foods, enjoying their meals. At this moment, a poor boy, a hungry boy is in front of them, but they are not giving a shit to Ryo. Even from them, a person told Ryo to get out from here because he smells bad after listening. This command, Ryo came outside and started eating some berries from a plant while eating Ryo. Feel more memories of Haruto and realized that Haruto was 20 years old boy who died from accident. But eventually Ryo confirmed himself that he is Ryo, and he is here to take revenge from some people who killed her mother. Then some girls came near to Ryo and they asked if Ryo had seen a blue-hair girl, and even they made fun of Ryo's appearance and his smell because the way of asking question of the girls is not liked by Ryo, so he stays silent. And after the realizing that this boy is not speaking a single word, then one girl came near to Ryo saying sorry on behalf of her sister. This white-head girl, his name is Celia, and after hearing all this, Ryo replied that he never saw a girl here who have blue hair. Eventually Celia asked they as slum, but Ryo said to that they should not go to slum because her shining clothes can attract many bad people to them. So even if they are willing to go there, they should change their appearance, especially their clothes. After hearing all this, Celia, before going to the castle, she used her magic to analyze the area. But she got shocked seeing Ryo have magics, including other members. First, they ignore this power of Ryo-e to move from here. But before heading out of here, Celia gave some silver coins to Ryo. After receiving these coins from Celia, he quickly moved forward to a house to hide these coins. While entering in the house, he got attacked by someone, but luckily he got saved due to the silver coins. At this moment, you realize that this person has already killed other persons, and Ryo's waiting for his death. But to do some reason, the time has stopped. Now then I spirited off a beautiful girl up here and C is saying Ryo has Haruto name also. She taught Ryo how to use magic. After this, the soul of Haruto poses Ryo body. Then he started attacking with all the techniques he learned from his grandfather. However, that assassin also can use the magic, and he is trying to defeat Ryo. And at this moment, Ryo used his kick. And because of his kick, the assassin got hit, eventually dropping his knife. Because of this attack, assassin got angrier, saying, "You little brat." He moved to hit Ryo, but Ryo easily knocked down that assassin from a single move. After this, Ryo is shocked from his powers. Then a moment later, he saw a bag movie, means someone is in the bag, and then reopened the bag. He found a girl inside that bag, and she is the one who is being searched by Celia and others girls. The girl is actually a princess named Flora. She begged to Ryo to take her in the castle. She saw many shit sitting around her, which caused her to be fainted. After this, Ryo carried Florida on his back and made his way to the castle. But in the way, many girls come to Ryo. These are the same girls who is with Celia. Eventually, a girl named Christina slapped Ryo because she was thinking Ryo is a bad guy who took Flora as hostage, and even he lied to them. But this was not the truth. However, Ryo tried to convince everyone that he's not a bad guy and he was not taking Flora as the hostage. He was trying to help her, but no one listened to him. Even a tall girl named Vanessa took her sword out to Ryo's neck. And now all girls are willing to take Ryo in the castle. After this, we saw in a room a boy named Charles punishing Ryo, trying to convince Ryo to say he was the one who took their princess as a hostage or kidnapping her. Meanwhile, in a room in the castle, Flora came in, senses she opened her eyes, and Vanessa told Flora that they have got the person and his being punished right now. However, Flora said Ryo was the person who saved her after listening. This all goes needed, a way to save Ryo. Meanwhile, Charles has made Ryo condition bad, truly bad. Then the girl arrives here. Charles said to everyone that the person has confirmed that he was the one who kidnapped her princess. But Vanessa told Charles that princess has awoken, and she confirmed this person is the one who actually helped her. After hearing this, Charles got scared, and quietly he moved out from here, and Celia tried to heal Ryo. But Ryo is not happy with this, so he didn't make this happen. But he got fainted, and when he awake, he was in a bed in front of Celia. Then Ryo remembered that Celia was the one who behaved good with him. so his anger decrease and his is claim right now. Then Celia said sorry to him, and he also said that the king is willing to meet Rio. Now Rio asked for help from Celia because he is not good at behaving in a conversation, so he need help to make a good conversation with the king. Now Celia taught him how to behave and how to make a conversation. Then next day, Rio is going to meet king and queen. Now Rio is in new look. Now Celia asked Rio if he knows how to study, but Rio is clear that he is illiterate and doesn't know how to study. Therefore Celia told him to meet her after school for private tutor, and he agreed, saying thank you to Celia. In the way moving forward to the class, Celia told Rio that the class students might not behave well with Rio, and he said he knows that after this. Celia said Rio to introduce himself to others. Now in the class everyone knows about him, while Rio is thinking about the incident when he talked to the king, and he allowed him to study at the Royal Academy because he saved her daughter. I know he introduced himself to everyone, saying how he came here, and he's hoping to everyone to work with him, to study with him, and behave kindly with him. And in this moment, a yellow hair boy made fun of Rio, saying, "At least you know how to talk, same as a servant," which made others to laugh. Then Rio took his seat. Now Celia started the glass and wrote some equations on the board, saying everyone to copy this and do the work. So yeah, she is the class teacher, and in a moment everyone is doing their work where the yellow boy thinks this is easy for him, while Celia came to Rio saying it's his first day, so he doesn't need to force him too hard. But at this moment, everyone laughed, thinking Rio doesn't know how to read after the glass over. Now Rio came to Celia's room, and after some knock, Celia came, but she was angry. However, Rio told her that he doesn't know how to read. And he is here because of Celia, because she told him to come to meet her for private tutor. After hearing all this, Celia realized about her promise, so she took Rio in the library. But the library is not okay because of Celia. In this moment, Rio asked Celia is small, but she is a professor, how Celia replied, saying she escaped the grade and moved forward to the highest study. And because passing the higher studies, she is the professor. Now then she gave some equations to solve to Rio, and he easily solved all the equations in right way and right answer. Now Celia is impressed, and Rio realized he's doing this because in the past life, he was a university student, and the questions is normal, multiplication, and division. Celia asked to Rio, who taught him about arithmetic. Rio said it was her mother, but she's in heaven now after this. The boat drank tea, and they enjoyed the tea also. Yeah, asked Rio about his first day at the academy. Rio said it was great, and he didn't found any problems. However, he need book recommendation by Celia to practice his skills. Meanwhile, everyone is doing their training, and here Rio is taught by a person. This tutor asked Rio to attack toward him with his true powers, and Rio remember about his past life where he took training from his grandfather. Now he is trying to do multiples attacks to other tutor, eventually surprising him and everyone of his skills. However, the yellow boy is not surprised by his attack or his acting. Not to surprise now. Here Rio told the guy that he's not interested in night moment. Later we found Rio in the library studying for his upcoming exam. He is doing this because he wants to clear the exam with his full efforts. Now the day of the exam has come, and everyone has received their papers, and they are doing the exam here. Rio is doing great after the exam. Rio is outside seeing other students and thinking about his past life, especially about his crush Miharu. Everyone is not happy with Rio. After a moment, Rio came to his house thinking about Haruto and her friend Miharu. Here he told himself that he's not Haruto, he is Rio. The next day, and the exam results has out for everyone here. No one is happy with result because the first position is tied with Rio and Princess Christina. Therefore, everyone is thinking that Rio has cheated in the exam. But Rio clear that he didn't cheat. He study and attempt the exam as the others done. But the boy is not believing. However, girls said to the boy not to make any claims without any evidence after this professor came saying the result is true and known as cheated in exam. This makes the boy more angrier. However, he goes out from here. Eventually, girls are not happy with Rio moments. Later, Rio and Celia is in the library, and here Celia is now more worried about Rio because with this result, everyone is now going to make fun of Rio and be jealous from him. But Rio is saying that he's not going to affect himself by their thinking. He will ignore them, just as Professor Celia has done when she was in academy. But Celia said at that time she got many friends, but Rio does not have anyone. But Rio clears that he does have a friend, and she is Celia herself. Rio made her blush, and because in Rio's opinion she is a kid, which actually she is. But she is not okay with this, however. After a moment she is fine with this thinking. She is a friend of Rio. She also said if Rio need any kind of help, he can come to her. After a moment they both started laughing because Celia was thinking she was quite big from Rio, but in reality she's not that much big. Now time has passed, and all the members of the academy has grown quite much here. The man is announcing about some exhibition tournament where they fight against some knights, and to registers for the tournament, Alfan and Steward came out, and that person person called Rio to join as well, but this made Alphon not happy, but he cannot do anything because the decision has already been made. Now in the library, Celia is happy about the decision of Rio because he is going to participate in the tournament and he can be knight before graduating. But Rio said that he is not going to be a knight. And at this moment, Celia realized Rio has grown tall. Now after some talk, Rio said that he will go out for a journey after being graduate. After listening this, Celia offered Rio to work here with her because of Rio library is clean, he helps a lot, but Rio told her to be married. Celia replied she will be married, but not right now. And Rio said she's a quiet, charming woman, which made Celia after this. Is Rio revealed he will continue his journey to Yagumo region, which is his homeland. Now the exhibition tournament day has come, and the first challenger of the tournament is Rio, but it seems as no one have any hope from him. Expect Professor Celia. And the opponent of Rio is none other than Charles. Yep, he's the one who misbehaved with Rio in past. Now the match has started here. Charles started attacking Rio, and Rio is dozing all the attacks. And after a moment with her special strike, now he is the winner. Now everyone clapped on the win of Rio now in the night Charles with. A person is drinking and thinking he's the one who let Rio to be won. Now another day has come here. Celia is waiting for Rio to celebrate his win. But Rio is going somewhere else. He met a girl who gave him a love letter, and Celia saw all this. Now in the library, Celia is seeing all the report cards where all the students have written about their things to do after graduation, but Rio hasn't written anything. Now another day has come, and in the class, professor asks everyone to do an assignment. But Alphon said this assignment has already been known to everyone except of someone, which is Rio. So Celia said to demonstrate his skills against Rio to everyone, they cast a spell, but it was not good enough. Then Celia demonstrate them what actually spells looks like. They saw the beautiful spell, and everyone likes it. Also, they are amazed by this spell. So Rio said it was true that he cannot cast any magic as others do, but he can cast the magic spell in his way after the class stewed praised professor, and he told that he knows how Rio is seducing beautiful girls. Rio said he is not doing this, and professor said he stewed not to claim anything without any evidence. While Princess Flora visit all this, she in her mind saying that she has not done anything to repay Rio for his help to her. Now another day with another task. Everyone is here for a mission, a work they are assigned to get at a point without any difficulty or injury. Alphon is confident about his plan and about his map to reach that place as soon as possible. They are going to follow Alphon. Meanwhile, Rio is going to take care of their luggage here. Flora wants to help Rio, but he didn't want to be helped by anyone. In the way they encountered with goblins, they enhanced their strength with the spell and easily defeated them. However, this man is going to create some problems, especially for Rio. Meanwhile, they reached a dead end. However, they are encountered with Orc Monster and Steward got injured. He asked for help, but in this process, because of him, Princess Flora is now falling from the mountain. However, Rio helped her, but he's replaced with Flora while they all are fighting with the monster, and they managed to defeat all of them. Meanwhile, Rio is fine. But he's not willing to go right after this to them because he's not willing to saw his magic powers to them. Also, he's confused about his powers. He remembers someone but didn't know her. Meanwhile, Steward is telling all them that Rio was the one who pushed Steward. And because of that, Princess Flora fall down from the mountain. And after some more talk, everyone believed this story, and they are moving from here, lefting Rio. But Princess Flora is not willing to do this. However, Rio has moved from here hearing all this. Meanwhile, a monster is approaching towards them, and it came. Princess Christina attacked with her power, but it doesn't make any hit after this. They made many attacks, but it didn't harm that monster. Knowing this, all them retreat from here. However, Princess Flora is helping a boy, but that monster has come. However, Rio saved the Princess Flora from that master cutting its hand from his slash. Now Princess is running away from here, and Rio is fighting from that monster. And he is quite good at this. And upon getting a chance, he quickly ran and cut that monster head. Now that monster is dead now. So because all the students have arrived here, then Rio made his way out from here while in the sky. That person is seeing Rio, and he is impressed from him. Meanwhile, in the academy, Professor is moving forward, and see here, someone voice in room Lord Garcia was talking to someone upon how Rio was missing from that mission. Now Lord Garcia decided to blame all the incident happened due to Rio. Now in the library, Celia meet Rio here. Celia told to Rio all about what she had from Lord Garcia, but Rio doesn't care about all this, and he is here to say goodbye for the last time to Celia. Also now, Rio had changed his name as Haruto. He promised to Celia that soon they will meet here. They both hugged each other and said goodbye, hoping they will meet soon. At this moment, Celia is crying and remembering all the moments when she met Rio. Now, somewhere this man has gave a task to this girl named Letifa to kill Rio. Now when Rio was moving forward, he dozed a monster, and now 3 days has passed, and he is here to get his needed materials for moving forward. Also, he noticed that someone is chasing him, and it is true because this girl is following him to finish him. Now is going to test pasta soup invented by a lady Lisa. And when Rio is testing the sup, he thinks that it might be that this girl could be same as Haruto, but it's not confirmed now upon thinking about her mother. Haruto is willing to visit his motherland because of her promise that he made with her mother. Now Haruto is in front of a guild where persons are trying new dish, and then Haruto came into the guild where a girl named Luton asked him to give his weapon to her, and Haruto did it also. Luton is happy seeing Haruto black hair. Now Haruto visit the dishes, and in a room he is going to try more new food, and he spends some good time here. And he also wrote a letter for Celia. Then he made his way towards his journey. In the way he found a girl's, and she is Latifa. She attacked Haruto, but Haruto defends himself. However, he got hit and he is poisoned now, but Rio managed to overcome that poison. Then both of them started attacking each other after getting on a tree branch. Latifa increased her overall strength, but Haruto managed to came close to her, which shocked Latifa because in her opinion, a human can't be fast as Haruto is. However, she started striking with her knife, but each time Haruto managed to dose it, and one time when Latifa came closer to him, then Haruto managed to knock down her. However, Latifa started crying, and because of this, Haruto used his magic, which made Latifa to sleep. Now Haruto noticed something and he remembered it from a book, so he tried to unlock it and he succeeded. After this past incident showed where little Latifa is being tortured by Steward eventually because of that medal on her neck made her to say, "You are my lord Steward," as Steward asked her to speak also. Latifa's original name was Suzune. Now at present time Suzune is fine. She also saw that Haruto removed that color from her neck which made her to cry with happiness. Now Haruto is willing to be answered. Haruto asked, who was that person who gave command to Suzune she first? Said she have no idea, however after a moment she realizes and revels that person name is Steward after hearing this. Haruto realized it might be Steward, now asks some more questions, then after realizing that she is not willing to harm him. So Haruto released her saying she can now run from here. He also told her to run for east because at east side some demi-humans are leaving in groups so she can join them. Then Haruto made his way to move forward. Now B because they both are moving to east. So in the way Suzune asked Haruto help her and to include her in his journey until she got her destination. However, Haruto is not willing to do this because he can't trust her. However, Suzune told Haruto that he can command her with the help of this or color. And after seeing all this, Haruto agreed to include her as a member of teammate. They both introduced themselves as Latifa and Rio. While in this journey they also eat their lunch, and Latifa loved this lunch. Now after some more walk, they both are near to the wild now B because they are tired, so they are going to camp here for tonight. Meanwhile, Sayla received Rio letter and she is happy to know about him while Latifa and Rio are eating their dinner. Rio thought she might be same reincarnated person as him because she knows the dish name which is not from this world after this. They both are sleeping, and here Rio confirmed that Latifa is from Tokyo because she spoken this while sleeping. Now day begin, and Latifa thinks that Rio he same as her brother, but she is not confirmed. So she asked it from Rio, and Rio confirmed that she can call him brother, but he might be not her brother. Now both have started their journey, and they passed many locations also. At a new location, they are moving toward a tree, and they are decided to camp here, which they does. However, at that point, Haruto meet a wolf. Actually, that wolf is a group of demi-humans, and they are here to save Latifa, and Rio told everyone that he is no threat for anyone. However, when two girls saw Latifa sleeping, because if magic, then Uzuma attacked Rio. Eventually, Rio is not understanding them because they are speaking different language. However, Sarah Whitehair girl told Rio that he has kept one of her kind as hostage. Therefore, they cannot believe or leave Rio. However, Rio said he didn't kidnap anyone, but all girls didn't believe him, and because of their attacks, Rio is knocked down now. However, Haruto is seeing a girl and formed that girl Haruto now knew that this girl is somehow connected to Haruto and she vanished. However, Miharu appeared, but all this was a dream of Haruto. He is trapped right now. But Latifa came and she is shocked because of Rio's condition eventually. Then the old lady came and Latifa cleared that Rio is her brother. And after hearing this, all girls said sorry to Rio for their behavior being kind-hearted. Rio forgive them. And now then, because of the lady, Rio got out of chain. And that lady told Rio to attain a meeting which is going to be held tomorrow after this. All these girls go sour from here. And the next day, Rio is heading at a place where he saw a great tree which is very important to them. And it is surrounded by a magic barrier, however Rio can saw it, which means magic powers are quite powerful. After this, Ursula came in a room along with Rio. And here Rio met two more guys named Sudora and Dames. All of them are speaking in human language for Rio, understanding they respect each other because Rio has forgotten their misbehavior. Now Rio requests to everyone to take care of Latifa, and everyone happily agreed to do this. However, Rio is a bit hesitate because Latifa is attached to him, and for the solution, Ursula told Rio to spend some time here with Latifa, and Rio agreed happily. and Sudora convenes Rio that he will do every arrangements for Rio comfort. However, Rio asked. He wants to learn about magic, and for this request of Rio, Sudora agreed. But at this point, a girl appeared named Dryas, and she is the spirit of that big great tree. And Dryas felt a spirit leaving inside Rio, but that spirit is sleeping. Dryas checked Rio, and she found that spirit is so strong and is sleeping inside Rio. Body Dryas told everyone that there are 6 spirits who went missing after Divine Demon War, and Dryas thinks the spirit inside Rio body is one of 6 spirits. Also, Rio is safe. Now everyone is thinking to treat Rio as sent because of that spirit. Now Dryas took Rio to Latifa, where he met Latifa and saw the house, which is loved by Latifa. He also ate something called rice and grains, which is delicious. After this, Sarah told Rio that Sarah with others girls are going to live together with Rio. It is happening due to Ursula, and for this, Rio agreed for the sake of his lovely threesome night meme. Also, Rio asked those girls to call him as Master Rio. After this, Rio is learning magic, doing training, and exploring the villagers at S Village. Now they also perform a special event. Meanwhile, somewhere a person named Rice appear, and he got an egg from a cave, and he is moving forward with this person. Also, in his way, they are being followed by a lots of monster. It might be that egg mother with her friends trying to save her eggs. Now I think 1 year has passed, as shown more. Ever now, Rio and Latifa received kiss from as a part of ceremony. Now Rio is surrounded by Latifa, Sarah, and Sophia. While having party, however, all these girls are too close to him. Then red hair girl told girls to behave well with Rio. Also, Rio is happy because girls showed how they want to be friends of Rio. Then Chief Ursula arrived, and she is happy by Latifa happiness. However, Rio has decided to move from here for his journey. Meanwhile, Rice is in a place, and he commands this boy to take care of Griffin while he is going somewhere else. He also told this boy to take care of that egg. Now Rice is in sky, and he is waiting for someone, and that's his monsters, and their present seemens to be known by others. Meanwhile, Rio is in forest with Latifa, and here he asked to Latifa how she fell here, and she replied saying, "I love this place, and my sisters, I enjoy living and spending time here also because of you." However, Rio said that he is willing to leave this village after listening. This Latifa said that she wants to live with Rio. How Rio is not willing to do this, which made Latifa to run. Meanwhile, everyone has now know that there is something wrong in their village, so they are checking for it. And they all met Yellow Boy and Griffin. All girls asked why he is here, but the boy started to run. Girl tried some attack on him, but it didn't work more ever. A monster is following that boy. However, he is safe from monster attack, and Sarah sent a person to inform the villagers about the situation. Meanwhile, Rice is in cave doing something which is not normal, and because of him, that yellow boy is falling down. And at this point, Sarah summoned her bond spirit to help Alma. Meanwhile, that egg got crushed upon falling down. And because of this, the baby is dead now, and Latifa is in danger because of that dragon monster. And all this is seen by the villagers. And Rio, meanwhile, Alma is fighting with the monster with her bond spirit. She successfully strikes some of her bond spirit attack, and she tried to attack it from her sword but failed. And now Latifa is trying to distract that monster to get some time for Alma. Laya attack, however, when she was in danger, Rio saved her with his powers, and he is now fighting with that monster. He successfully made various strikes on it, and eventually with his power, he smashed that monster head, and Rio won the fight. Moreover, everyone got amazed by hearing that Rio singly defeated this monster, and because of this monster defeat, the remaining monster changed their path now after this. Everyone said thank you to Rio, and day has come. And here, Latifa showed her feelings to Rio for becoming his sister, and Rio, happy, accepted her as sister, which made her happy. Moreover, after some talk, Latifa has decided to live here to train, and she will wait for Rio to meet her again. Now Rio told Latifa why he is going for Yagumo region, because it is his motherland. Then Latifa told Rio that she is once dead in another world and she got reincarnated. Rio believed in her story because he is reincarnated, same as Latifa. Now he is going to Yagumo region to be more strong, and when he is leaving this village, he is gifted with armor clothes and a sword and even many more things, or items. And also, he got a storage items that looks good. When he was leaving, he took promise from others to protect her sister, and he will came back whenever this village needs help. Now 2 weeks has passed, and he is in Yagumo village, and this village is beautiful. And it seems that here most of the people are farmers, which is great. So now Rio asked some girls if they can guide him to meet this village head, and the girls agreed to help her now in a beautiful house. Rio met an old man named Yuba. Then Rio asked her if she could help him to get information about his parents who lived here 15 years ago now. For the information, they both are having conversation here. Rio told Yuba about his mother and father name. It was Ayami and Jen. After hearing this, Yuba told the girls to leave. They did it. Now, Rio told her family backstory upon how his parents are from here and how they died, also about her mother last words when she was willing to go in Yagumo region one day with her son, but it couldn't happen. And now Rio wants to build a grave for his Ryo's parents, upon hearing all this story, Yuba believe in Ryo, saying his looks is similar, has his parents, and it reveals that Yuba is Ryo's grandma after this. Ryo is happy to meet his grandma, and he saw his parents' grave somewhere, and he prayed to them saying he finally made it to Yagumo. Now Ryo wants to know why his parents moved from here, but Yuba said she cannot give this information to him right now, but she wants to live and spend her time with Ryo, and Ryo agreed to live here. Now he also knows that those two girls are his uncle's daughters. After this, Ryo arrived in the house. Now he spent his first night with his new family also. Now he wants to help her grandma and works. However, he got a nice scenery meme. Now he is making breakfast and he is preparing soup for them. He also used his powers to make the soup after this. He meets Shin and a beautiful girl. I think they are his relatives, and they enjoyed the breakfast. Also, Yuba told Shin to help Ryo for hunting, and he decided to do this. However, he thinks that Ryo is weaker than him, and yeah, the beautiful girls likes Ryo. Hope more ever. Now Ryo and Shin is doing hunting with a man who is known to then, and after this hunt, it found that Ryo has haunted many more animals than Shin. Now when he was returning, he feel that he is a bit dirty, and to clean himself, he made a fountain or a bathroom and took bath. Moreover, Sayo and Ruby is impressed with Ryo power, especially with his smell. Sayo love this smell of soap, and at this time Shin with some boy appear here, and he is not happy for Ryo, and he showed it. However, girls loves Ryo, and they are not happy with Shin because he tried to make fun of Ryo later on. You found that girls are impressed by Ryo and his works. Now Yuba asked Ryo he protects someone, which might be a group or something. Who knows? Now some bad persons has arrived here not for good work, and this ugly bastard is another village chief's son, and he is messing with Gillers, saying girls should respect him because he's going to be Ruby husband in his opinion. And yeah, he is willing to spend his night here. However, after listening all this, Shin tried to attack this man, but he is not that much strong, however, because Yuba Shin is safe now, and she allowed him to stay at the guest hut for a night later. When Gon is heading towards, he fall down because of messing with Ryo. Now Yuba told everyone to stay at their house because Gon is not safe from anyone. Also, Sayo is going to sleep along with Yuba. Now day has passed and night has come, and Ryo gave a gem to girls to protect them at night. Gon planned something. Now day has begun, and a traveler named Hayate Saga came, and his is in trade. Now they spend good time together later on. Ryo is training and girl are watching him whenever he trains because of girl's question. Ryo told them why he is training and why he want to become more stronger. It is due to a promise that he made to a girl at his childhood to protect her. However, now Ryo have no any idea about that girl, but Ruby told him not to lose hope now after this girl took bath and they are sleeping. However, Gon came here to do something bad with them, and he is interrupted by Ryo, and Ryo, like a man, easily threw Gon out as a garbage, and he even punished him so hard that he looks awful. However, because of Hayate, he is safe. Meanwhile, Ryo feels that this was the second time when he intended to kill someone, and he felt bad because he is becoming as her mother murder. Now Ryo's cooking, and it reveals that Gon with his friends are arrested. Now also, Ryo said sorry for yesterday, but Yuba told him there is to say sorry for Ryo, because he done all that just to protect girls. After this, everything went normal. Meanwhile, Celia is missing Ryo. Episode 8. Now Yuba said thank you to Hayate for his help, and she also gave me a ladder to pass it to his father, and Hayate agreed to deliver this letter to his father after completing his journey. Now Sayo, along with others and his brother, leave this village meanwhile in Kingdom of Karasuki royal capital, until several days later they reached here, and Ryo is here with them. Now they're going to stay here. Also, this man took Shin and Ryo with him to a place where Gon got in prison. Later on, they eat lunch in a hotel or restaurant. Here they are eating kamutan, and this Ryo is eating this dish for the first time, and he liked it. After this, Shin say thank you to Ryo for his help to save Sayo. After this, in another day, Ryo is walking with Sayo, and in this walk, Ryo told her to eat kamutan with him, and he also suggested her to spend some time with her father because he care a lot for her. However, after this, they were called as couple by this lady, but Sayo cleared that they are together or as couple. Now Sayo got new gift from Ryo, cost of 2 silver coins. That lady also suggested Sayo to get close to Ryo because he is good for Sayo later on somewhere in capital. A man is kidnapping a girl's, but Ryo saved that girl from him. This girl's is named Komomo. Ryo gave Komomo to this girl, and he grabbed Sayo's hand to move from here because he want to avoid any troubles. Meanwhile, Hayate is in front of his father here. He needs someone saved Komomo. Also, he gave that letter to him, and his father is shocked knowing about Ryo. Meanwhile, Ryo meet others. Here Shin asked Sayo to make kamutan for him, and Sayo agreed. Also, someone asked her about her new hairpin, and they pass a smile to Sayo and Ryo. Later on, Ryo meet Hayate and his father named Goki Saga, and her mother named Kaioke. They said once they both served Rio mother, and they reveals that Rio mother was a royal person, means Rio is royal-blooded after this. Goki said that 20 years ago, Rio father Gen has led them in a war between Kaiyosuke Kingdom and Roku Ren Kingdom. He was great Nobel, and Goki got a chance to face him, and because of Goki recommendation, Gen got duty to protect Ayami, and after some time, Ayami fell in love with Gen, and around that time, a meeting was held between Kaiyosuke Kingdom and Kingdom of Roku Ren. But Theon from Roku Ren tired to do something bad with Ayami, but Gen saved her, but that Roku Ren prince wants to marry Ayami to make good connection between these two kingdoms, and for this reason, Rio parents left this kingdom. But now Rio is here, and Goki asked Rio to join the capital and to meet his grandparents, the king and queen, because they are willing to meet Rio, and Rio agreed, and Rio meet his grandma and grandpa here. Rio talked with grandma. Now Rio is telling how his parents died. He also explained about her mother personality. He also explained how a man named Luisis killed her mother in front of Rio eyes. So one day when Rio was happy and her mother goes out to bring something, Luisis came in the room and he forced Rio to drink something. Then he killed her mother. Also, Luisis is well known to Rio and he mother. Also, he explained how he spent 2 years as homeless orphan, and then because of Flora incident, he got scholarship. Then his life turned to be good. However, most of students are not behaving good with him. But then are some students who are good friends of Rio, has asked Professor Celia. Now Rio is fine with his condition. However, there is one man he cannot forget and forgive him. Means Rio is on his journey for revenge. However, his grandfather told him not to take this journey furthermore more, because the end of revenge is always bad, has hell. Now Rio grandfather wants him to fight Goki to check his strength against him, to take his revenge. No, they are going for fight. And in the way, girl said to Goki that Rio saved Komomo after this. Then match start. In the beginning, Rio strike with this full power socking Goki. However, he managed to Kaim himself after some more battle. Goki, he's making his attack with magic powers, and to defend Rio, strike with his magic powers, and he defeated Goki, and then Rio said thank you to everyone. Because of them, Rio got some lessons which will help him in his journey. Also, Rio asked the permission to tell someone about his lineage, and his grandma and grandfather agreed. Meanwhile, girls are waiting for Rio, and Rio is in front of his parents' grave, saying his journey is going to be begun, and he will finish that person who killed her mother. Now in the evening, Ruby is talking to her grandmother and his cousin Rio that Rio is royal-blooded. And his cousin also, she is not willing to believe this in the starting, but because of her grandmother and the story of Rio's father, she believed in this story. She also said sorry for his behavior towards Rio. She bowed down in respect of Prince Rio, but Rio told her not to treat him as prince because he wants to be treated as friends. And so Ruby agreed to do this, calling him Rio. Also, she asked Rio to call her by her name, not by Miss Ruby, and then Rio called her by her name Ruby. Now Rio said to Yuba that he is planning to leave this village next year, and Yuba is fine with Rio's decision. Ruby asked Rio to come back and visit them in return. Rio said, we came to visit you and this village in future, and Rio is going to visit someone who is similar as her sister. Now in the afternoon, Rio visit Ruby, calling her by her name. Ruby, which shocked other girls, because in this world, calling a girl by her only name means they are dating each other. Also, Ruby told everyone that Rio is calling her by her name because of her. Now Rio is spending time with others happily. They also do farming. Meanwhile, Sayo is doing her work, and here Rio told her well, because she will taught others when Rio leave this village. And after hearing this, Sayo is sad because Rio is not planning to visit this village soon. Somehow Sayo is crying, but making excuses that this is because of dust. However, Rio helped her, and Ruby came here, and she knew why Sayo is sad later on in evening. Sayo is crying, and her brother knew this. He asked why Sayo is crying. He thinks this is all because of Rio, so Shin is going to meet him. However, Sayo stopped him, saying she is sad because Rio is planning to leave this village after this Shin run from here, and he meet Rio. He requested him to stay with them here. Sayo was saying sorry to them for her brother behavior after this because of CEO. Shin is now going to his home, and they leave now. New day has come, and here Shin bring fireflies for Sayo, and Sayo is trying to use Rio taught magic as the time pass. Sayo is good at using magic, and she is training as the time pass here. Everyone is enjoying their meals together as some festival. Meanwhile, Goku defeated this man. Now Rio said thank you for Kaioke for her help. Now Sayo is willing to talk with Rio, and he agreed for private talk here. Rio complimented Sayo hairpin. Then Sayo revealed that she is in love with Rio, but Rio said sorry to Sayo because he cannot return her felling more. Ever Sayo asked Rio to took her with him to journey also. She was training every day from the last 6 months to be strong, to be not a burden in Rio journey. Meme. Sayo is saying that she to be with Rio, however Rio cannot accept her and her feelings. Sayo requests that she is not not forcing Rio to love her, but she wants to be with Rio. However, Rio told her that he cannot do this. Then he left Sayo crying in his mind. Rio said sorry to both Sayo and Shin. Now after this, Shin support her sister now in the night. Rio is going to leave this village. He said goodbye to Ruby and Yuba. Then he made his way towards his journey. But at the end gate of village, Sayo is waiting for him. And in the past, she talked with Goki about her feelings towards Rio. Now in present, she is here to say goodbye to Rio. And said it also, she said Rio to do his best because she is going to do her best at works. Now Rio shake hands with her, then he left this village saying they will meet until next time. Now Rio meet Latifa, and he told he about his Yuba and Sayo. Also, he is here only for a few months now. Rio request for a house to take it on his journey, and others agreed to fulfill Rio's request. Now Rio meet others girls, and he praised her, which make them happy. It almost like girls wants him after this. Rio is sleeping with a naked girl. After realizing this, he screamed, and others girls came to see him, and they saw Rio is sleeping with a beautiful naked girl. After this cream, Rio is trying to convince others that he doesn't know anything about this girl. Now Sarah told everyone not to be shocked because she understands Master Rio. This is his private life, and they just saw it by mistake. But this is not what Rio was accepted to hear. However, he asked who that girl is. Then she replied that she is his spirit, but she and Rio didn't know why they are together. Also, she is the one who taught Rio about magic in the past. But right now that spirit have no idea about this. She doesn't know anything about her, so that spirit requests to get a name by Haruto. And because this was second time when that spirit said Rio as Haruto, so Orphea asked. She is calling Rio as Haruto. Rio told her that he will explain later. Now that spirit knew about Haruto, and she can talk with Rio by her mind. Means they can use telekinesis to communicate to each other. Now Rio is thinking about her name, but before giving her name, Orphea told Rio to talk to elders about this spirit. And now that spirit changed her clothes. And in this process, Rio saw her friend or crush face in spirit, so he gave her name as Isia, and this name is loved by everyone because it means as spring, and Haruto also means as spring. Now all girls welcomed her in this village. Now Rio is with others here. They meet Lady Dreis, and Dreis is shocked, knowing Isia lost her memory. However, she knows that she is a spirit related to Haruto. Then Rio told everyone that he changed him named as Haruto because in the capital, there is bounty on him. In the meantime, Dreis asked what kinds of elements Isia can use or control. Then she replied that she can use all of them. And now they all are here to check her ability, so they are going to fight her. And when the fight started, Isia shocked everyone because of her speed and powers. She is fighting so good with Rio giving him tough competition. Their attacks brust to each other. Also, they both use small tornado attack to each other before they can move further more. They were stopped by Dreis. And now Dreis is going to teach Isia all about the knowledge that he has as the time passes. Rio and Isia spent a good time with each other and others after Rio visited his new house created by dames. And now Rio has decided to live this village because his house is ready, and this decision of Rio shocked everyone. However, girls are fine with this decision of Rio, but Sarah told Rio to talk with Latifa because he is going to leave her once again. Now he is thinking how he is selfless towards others, especially towards Latifa. And in this moment, Latifa came to wash her brother back. And for this, Rio is not willing to get this done, however. Because of Latifa, Rio is having it now here. Latifa reveals that she is Susune, and she is the one girl that was present with Haruto at that time in the bus after some more talk. Rio has no choice left not to return. Soon, meanwhile, Isia is seeing the sky, and the next day in the morning, Rio received teleportation crystal that will allow him to return easily, and he is happy with this. But this works in one direction also. He got new items that can change her appearance after this. Rio is going toward the capital to meet Celia. Meanwhile, Celia is seeing a letter, and she is disturbed by Charles, however. After a time, someone came to take Charles with him, and Charles is behaving like he is going to marry to Celia. Meanwhile, Rio is on capital, and he is shocked to see this much crowd. However, when he got in a shop after changing his appearance, he now knew that this is because of Nobel wedding parade. Now Isia is going along with Rio to find or meet Celia. They came in academy, but Rio couldn't find Celia for the first time. Then, with the help of Isia, he now knew that Celia is in royal palace for wedding ceremony. She is going to marry Charles No. After knowing this, Rio is not happy for Celia. Later on, Rio found that Celia is ready to marry Charles because of the kingdom loss against other kingdom, and because of Charles, this kingdom is safe. Now Rio is going to talk to Celia about her will, and it has to done tonight, because tomorrow Celia marriage ceremony will begun, and Isia is going to help Rio for finding Celia now in the castle. Celia is with her father and fiancé here. Celia's father is feeling sorry about Celia. Sudden marriage. However, Celia understands this, and Charles is happy about his upcoming marriage with Celia. Also ensure that upcoming marriage will be lavish, because this marriage is not a simple marriage. It's a way between combining two nations' advance for better future and policies. Charles is happy, but not so Celia. However, she is not expressing this. Later on, Charles demands a promotion from the king to his side, and King was not willing to do this, but because of his kingdom condition, he's willing to do this. Also, it is feeling like he's been blackmailed by Charles, but Charles is happy. Nature is for his upcoming life with Celia. Meanwhile, Haruto is seeing the castle from the above, and he ensues that the security is quite good. Also, you get information about Celia, is location by Isia. Right now, Celia is in the castle, after getting this information to Celia. Meanwhile, Celia in a room is thinking about how met his father after a long time, but she couldn't have a good conversation with him. Also, she is now going to become a property of Charles for entire life, but she is happy because her kingdom, which is going to be good, but disappointed not saying this time. So as hoping to see him before her marriage, she took the later and memorize how's the last time met Haruto and her conversation with him, and we found that Celia has built feelings for Haruto. Also, she's going to burn that letter. However, hears some noise. Celia run to find who is it, and she found out it is Haruto. He came here to fulfill his promise to meet her. However, it takes him 4 long years, and he feels sorry for being late. Now Celia hugged Haruto, and she said how she failed after meeting her from such a long time. She is deeply happy from her heart. Also, she is surprised seeing Haruto height. She praised Haruto and personality. Haruto also said, Celia, you haven't changed, but you have grown up. You are a beautiful woman. As always, this blind made Celia blushed, but she is happy to meet Rio. She also asked Rio about his journey, and she makes tea for Rio. And cause of Celia, Rio found that Celia is happy to marry Charles, and she is marrying him, not because of her kingdom or anything, but Rio seems not happy with Celia's decision. And because of this, Celia said why he is not happy. So does it mean that you want to marry me and run with me? But it just was a joke after this. Celia said Rio to return. She forcibly returned Rio. Also, she told Rio not to attend her wedding ceremony. Although after all this, she is happy to meet Rio, but she can't involve him in all this. Now Rio wants to know more about this marry or ceremony. Then the next day, Charles meet Sir Rice, and Sir Rice congratulates him for this special occasion. Also, he is here to support him. Also, Charles invite Rice to meet him at his home. Meanwhile, Rice sends Spirit nearby him. Then he made his way to ceremony. However, that sense of Spirit disappeared. Now Celia is ready with her wedding dress. Here she is called outside by Charles, and here Charles introduced Celia with his other's wives. Although Charles' behavior is very sweet and kind towards Celia. Then he went out from here, and here Charles' first wife Tenesima meets Celia with others 6 more wives of Charles. Then she told Celia how to behave with others in Charles' family, because she is going to become Charles' 7th wife before she could talk more with her here. Princess Christina arrived here. She praised Celia looks and she congratulates her. Then Princess Christina and Celia talk in private here. They both talk to each other, and it reveals that Princess Christina is not happy with this marriage because she is thinking Celia is not happy with this marriage because her face tells another story as he's spoken with her voice. After this, Princess Christina told Celia to tell her anything if she needed from her princess. Christina will help her to bring her smile, which she admired the most. After this, Celia expressed that she is fine, and she will ask her if she need any help. Now outside somewhere in the forest near the camp, Charles is walking with one of the commander named Affair, and he told Affair that he can command her because he is going to Celia's husband. Now the day of this ceremony has come, and the ceremony has begun. In the kingdom, everyone is happily seeing in front of their eyes. However, we can easily see that Celia, it's not happy, but while pretending to be. Then everyone started cheering. Best wishes for Charles and Celia marriage. Meanwhile, the security is doing their work, and in the crowd, Rio is here. And after a moment, he saw Celia. Then after the permission of Rio, Isia came to talk to Celia in from Celia about Rio presence here. And after seeing Rio, Celia started crying because of her emotions. However, Charles supported her, and that made her calm. However, now Celia is not sensing and hearing Isia, so she thinks it might be her imagination. And now Charles is going to take Celia for the final marriage. However, at this point, Rio is heading towards Celia. Now Rio is adding to all the Celia attacking and the guards and dodging their attacks. He is reflect the magic of the mages. After this, the soldiers enhance their physical strength. And here Charles is confident about the soldiers' capabilities, saying they are the top selected soldiers out of thousands. However, but not in front of our hero Rio, he easily defeated all of them. And then he punched Charles that made him down, and also marry Celia hostage. Here after visiting all, these 2 men are trying to get Rio, but they are stopped by the soldiers. and Rio is talking with Celia through telekinesis, and he told Charles not to do anything, because if he did any kind of stupid things, then his backbone will be easily crushed. Where this is not going to be happen, because Rio said this to Celia. Upon her asking, after this Rio said he just want to listen the truth of Celia what she really wants. If she's happy with this marriage, then he will easily and happily went out, but he thinks she is not happy with this marriage, and this is being done all because of war and Duke. Also, Rio explained Celia about how he feels someone so persists to anyone loses him due to someone. And this time, Rio is not willing to lose someone at any cost. Then he asked one more time, Celia really wants this, is she happy with this marriage? And upon hearing all this, I realized as she wants to live with Rio's citizen want to be married with Charles. And because of hearing all this, Rio has decided to take Celia with him. Rio with Celia is running right now, and he is dodging all the soldiers. That is in his way. Also, Afrey is supporting Charles, but here also Rice has recognized Rio, and he is going to play with him, thinking he has become quite strong. However, his attack is dozed by Rio, and he is still running. Meanwhile, Afrey has decided to capture Rio, and for this, he commands the soldiers to guard the castle. Now here, Charles is angry, frustrated on the commander and Rio, but he cannot do anything, while Rice is thinking to guard his king with his family. Also, he has decided to reach Rio by another way. Now Rio is running through roofs, trying to escape from Soilder. He said that he is going to run faster, and Celia allows him to do it after some time. Rio is on ground, with Celia here. He revealed Isia to Celia. Then he is going to act as his plan, and Isia is going to explain the plan to Celia, while Rio is running, and Soilder called reinforcement. Now Rio dozing all the attacks of Soilder upon running, while Sawlighter are on ground to get Rio as well. However, Rio easily defeated all them through his kicks, and now he is fighting with them, trying not to kill them. Now Afrey is here to catch Rio, and Rio recognized me, so he is defending himself from him. Afrey attacked with his sword, and Rio defend himself, also kicked Afrey away from him for a while. However, he is still fighting with him, and Afrey is not happy because Rio is attacking him, so he used one of his powerful moves. But when the smoke cleared, he found Rio is not here, so he commanded the Soilder to find Rio and Celia. Meanwhile, in Kingdom and Castle, everyone is quiet, while the weather is not good. Now them Rio returned to Celia, and she happy to see him. She hugged him by mistake. Now they're going away from here, however she is feeling that it is not true. But she convinced herself that it is true, and she is happy being kidnapped by Rio, while Rio had confirmed that he will take care of Celia. However, many strong power of light suddenly started to appear, and someone Isia felt something, and she told Rio to head out to help other. Meanwhile, somewhere we see two girls and one boy with them. The boy is named Masato, and here they are now being kidnapped by others later on. Rio asked this person about this phone, and after knowing that this Allmans has captured those guys, so Rio started attacking them to protect others. In a short time, he managed to help those peoples, and that second girl is actual Haruto childhood crush Miharu, and Rio understand this after meeting her. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe and like this video for now. You can watch this reincarnation anime video where main character is reincarnated to another world as the strongest